Wonderful season you've had. First of all, just like to ask you, Steve Lansdown's not going to be there, he told us. How much of a regret is that for you, what he's put into the club?
Yeah, it was a disappointment, really, but he's got other commitments, and we knew about that. And I don't think he's been at any of the other JPT games. So once we spoke about that, we said, right, it's a good idea for you to not come then. No, I mean, I think more than anything, I think the league is more important to him if you were to separate them in the conversations we've had. But no, I mean, it will be a slight disappointment, but you know, I'm sure he'll be okay with that.
And Matt Smith, you said you'd invite him? Is he coming?
Yes.
You'll see him on the day?
Yeah, Sunday he'll be meeting up with us.
Right. Talk about the game then, Steve. What you know of Walsall, it looks like it could be a good footballing game, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, I think I just said Dean's done a fantastic job there. It'd be a very proud moment for him to take Walsall to Wembley for the first time ever, because there's been lots of other managers over the last few years that have tried to do that and haven't managed to do it. So, you know, big well done to him. I think that they're right in the heartbeat of the Midlands, where, you know, they can pick up players from Wolves, from Aston Villa, from Birmingham City. They can pick up all of these players, and they've done it very well over the years. And Dean's put together a really good team there. So, yeah, I mean, it should be a good game. And selection-wise, Steve, how difficult has selection been for you with this game, with 1 or 2 pressing cases in the last couple of weeks, or couple of of injury?
No, I've as long as everybody's fit, I've known my team for a while.
And how will you approach the game?
Same as always.
On the attack from the start?
Well, you know, if we're allowed to. I mean, they might attack us from the start, mightn't they? I mean, you don't know how the game's going to unfold, but other than to say we won't approach this game. We've tried to win every game that we've played in this season, you know, from starting first game away at Sheffield United to West Ham United in the Cup. So we'll try and win every game.
Something like 40,000 fans going. I mean, what a fantastic start that's going to be.
Yeah, no, and 30 plus from Walsall as well. So that's it's a great effort by both clubs, that, and we can hopefully look forward to a really good occasion.
Can you see nerves being a problem?
For who?
For your team. I mean, a Wembley final after all.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't sort of sense any. I mean, they're pretty level-headed lads. We've had enough big games this season where they've played in big games, so I don't know whether Wembley will make any difference to them or not. I mean, they might start getting a bit more butterflies in their tummies than they would under normal circumstances, but that can settle down after 5 minutes anyway. Once you're playing, you know, the goals are the same size, pitch is roughly the same size to what we play on here, so it shouldn't be too different.
And how about for you personally, Steve, leading a team out at Wembley? How big a day in your career is it?
Well, I've been lucky. I've done that a couple of times already, at the old Wembley and at the Millennium Stadium. But I think that for the way we've played this year and how we've carried on our league form and the cups, I mean, it'll be a real pleasing day really to get there, and proud to lead out a real fantastic group of players. I really got a lot of time for them, you know, personally as well as professionally. So, you know, that'll be a good moment, I'm sure.
And now, as you said before, it's all about winning.
Yep, all about winning.
Steve, how important do you think it is to win this trophy to alter perceptions of Bristol City outside of Bristol? Will it change how people view the football club if you can listen to it?
I don't think so, because you've done it already. Bristol City have already won it, so I don't think that.
Not for a long time, though.
Might be different if you win a league. Might be different if you win a league, because they've had promotions but haven't won a league. So I don't know if you need to alter too many people's perceptions anyway. I'm not sure. I think that we've ended up getting enough credit this year, I think, for how we've played around the country. So I think we might have altered that over a period of time. I don't think you can alter that in a one-off game, Andy, anyway, really.
I know the bookmakers look at it very differently, but with games you've had against Walsall have been very close.
Yeah, they will be.
Very competitive.
Yeah, they will be. I mean, you know, they don't concede a lot of goals, Walsall. And, you know, if you have a look at, you know, their league form, their league form is pretty much their wins, draw, losses column is pretty much the same all the way across the board. So We're under no illusions it's going to be a tough game. So, you know, whether anyone jumps all over you with a favourites tag or anything like that, it won't make any difference on the day.
Do you think success on Sunday could actually help the other bigger objective you have, which is to get back into the Championship?
I don't think that'll have any bearing on it. I don't think so. I think this game is such a one-off, isn't it, really? You know, we've had other games this season that have been one-offs, and it hasn't really affected our league form, and hopefully that'll continue.
I'm not quite sure how young people are going to behave in that sort of environment, and it's some of them have been in before, some haven't. You think, you mentioned there's pressure games before, there's been plenty of them this season. Do you think that will stand them in good stead?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you know, I've been in these games before where you think your experienced players are going to be the ones that are going to be okay and be out there and run the show, and sometimes it's been the younger players that have come to the fore because they don't know what they're fearful of, if you know what I mean, because they haven't played in them before. The only good thing about it from our football club's point of view is we have got a very young team, and what they'll gain from this will be immense. So whatever the result, they'll come out of it better for the experience, but they'll come out of it better if you win it, because then they'll know what it takes.
Obviously, you know what it takes. You've been to a Cheltenham in a trophy, you've been in a playoff on a Cardiff and won that as well. I mean, are there really any sort of words of wisdom you would say to your players beforehand, having been in your position and been successful twice?
I might do.
Yeah. You're not going to tell me.
No. Sorry, Anne.
Steve, it's a tournament some managers are kind of quick to dismiss early on, but you guys have always taken it seriously right from the start of that first game at Cheltenham. As you set the tone there, and you've certainly not dismissed it at any point along this run. You've taken it as a chance to pick up another win.
When we started off at Cheltenham, I said I wanted to win it. We've tried to pick strong teams in all of it. I think the first couple of rounds are your tricky ones. Your first 2 or 3 games in it, certainly the first 2, they're the tricky ones because it's a long way before the final comes, and then you have a 2-leg area final, and so I think once you start getting to the semi-finals, then the lads think maybe we've got a chance of this. When you're in the area final, then as we saw in the second leg here, then everything's at stake really. So thankfully we've managed to manoeuvre our way into it, and we're pleased about that because it will be good. We've spoke about it, we've tapped on it before about our younger players and the experience that they'll get from it, and they will. And it is a great day. It's a great day and it's a great occasion, but you've got to win it. You've got to win it for it to be the great occasion that you want it to be.
And you said you've already got a good idea of your team. Is the only regret for you the 5 substitutions rule? The fact that you're 7 now. No regrets at all then.
No, that was something I asked about after the Gillingham second leg. We contacted Walsall and asked if they would have any objections to having 7 substitutions, and then it was referred then to the Football League. They backed our ask, and we're really pleased with that because same for Dean as well. There'd be a couple of lads that you're taking with you on the bus, and they can't get changed. And when it's 7 substitutes every week, I don't see why there couldn't be 7 in the competition as a whole. We're very pleased that the Football League have said that you can have 7 substitutes on the day, and even if they don't change it in the future, 7 substitutes on the day at Wembley, surely you have to have that, don't you? I mean, it's fantastic for boys who might not have been involved.
Yeah, because you would have had 2 boys, I suppose, in there after the Gillingham game thinking, we might be the ones who sat in the stand.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but thankfully we haven't got to do that. Sorry?
George and James eligible, your loan boys.
Yeah.
So you got your 7 for the bench.
Have you told the players, Steve, you said you've nearly picked the team, have you told them yet, or how will you go about that?
I'll say it like this.
How do you just sort of take them individually and have a chat with them, or do you take in front of everyone?
No. We'll know the team. They won't. They'll have an idea of it anyway, but they won't know the team until probably tomorrow morning.
Coming through the rounds, have you had any superstitions that you'll take with you to Wembley? Anything that you've done on the way there that you'll do now come Sunday?
No. same suit for the JPT. We've always had the same suits, all of us. Same ties, changed from the league games. So we'll just keep them, really. Nothing else.
And Steve, you're heading up this morning, and I suppose you've done that quite a lot of times this season. You've had those long trips where you can stay away for a few nights. How important has that been in terms of bonding a team together with a lot of new faces last summer in particular, trying to get that, you know, those long hotel spells and evenings together?
I think that the Botswana South Africa trip was a real bonding time, and I think that's carried on from there, really. I think that you know, that was an important time for us, and I think then secondary, where there's a lot of journeys in this league and we've had a lot of games, so preparation, travelling time is key if you can cut that down, and we've managed to do that. So it's been good, because on a Thursday night when we've travelled before, they either have a Monopoly night or a FIFA soccer night or something like that, and that's been good for them as well. So I mean, they're really a first-class bunch of lads. They really genuinely get on well with each other. There isn't anybody in the group that you think, he's a little bit outside the group. They're all together, and that's been a big help to me for this season.
Steve, you alluded to the crowd. It's going to be about 70,000 plus. It's going to be a massive TV audience as well. Do you see this as a chance for Bristol City to showcase itself as a football club? What you're all about?
Not really. I've said that to you twice now, haven't I? Sorry about that, but not really. Only because we're at Wembley. You know, if the stadium would be done here and we were on TV like we were against West Ham, for instance, and the stadium would be finished, then you might be showcasing Bristol City a little bit more than you would be when you're going to Wembley. So I'm sorry, I've ended up.
It'd be nice to show people how you can play, because not everyone has seen Bristol City play this season.
No, a lot have though, haven't they? I mean, you know, a lot have, and we've been lucky. We've been on Sky quite a few times this year, haven't we? We've been on the BBC. We've had Match of the Day here in the FA Cup. So I think people have got a general gist of how we've played this year, and I think that's been important. Most importantly, or more importantly, should I say, our supporters have seen how we play, because they're the ones who pay to come and watch us every week. You know, they've been entertained and they've enjoyed winning at the same time.
Okay. Thanks, Steve. Thanks all.
Okay.